focus to the big news that we are tracking for you. In a push for Women's Reservation Bill, the central government has proposed to increase the number of seats in the Lok Sabha from 543 to 850, according to a copy of the draft exclusively accessed by NewsX. This expansion is part of a plan to fast-track the implementation of the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiyam, or the Women's Reservation Act, ensuring that approximately one-third of the House, or 273 seats, will be reserved for women lawmakers. The significance of this legislation lies not just in its intent, but in its impact. Currently, women make up to only 14% of the Lok Sabha seats, reflecting a deep gender gap in political representation. This bill aims to correct that imbalance by ensuring women have a stronger institutionalized voice in decision-making at both the national and state levels. Calling it a step towards an egalitarian India, the Prime Minister said that the move reflects a vision where social justice becomes a natural part of governance. He also highlighted that the moment marks the end of decades of delay and the start of a new era of inclusion. At its core, the Women's Reservation Bill is not just about quotas, it is about redefining power, participation and parity in the world's largest democracy. Joining me on the telecast is my first special guest. It is Ms. Aparajita Sarangi. She is BJP Member of Parliament. Ms. Sarangi, thank you very much for speaking to us. And of course, my first question about the reason behind the government's decision to have a special Parliament session April 16th onwards to pass the Women's Reservation Bill.
A very good evening. In September 1996, when Shri Devgowda ji was the Prime Minister of the country, the Women Reservation Bill had been first brought to the Lok Sabha. And thereafter, 27 years passed. And after 27 years, almost close to 3 decades, the Women Reservation Bill under the title Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiyam was brought to the Lok Sabha, passed in the Lok Sabha, taken to Rajya Sabha, passed in the Rajya Sabha under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi in September 2023. Now 3 years have passed. I think this is high time we implemented the provisions of the act that was passed in 2023. Now, let me tell you very candidly that 50% of the population of the country is women. And if you look at the parliaments of many of the countries, many of the backward countries, so to say, I talk of Rwanda, 61% of the seats in the parliament are occupied by women. And as far as Sweden is concerned, almost 46% of the seats are occupied by women. And New Zealand also gives same kind of figures. Many countries have many number of women in their parliament, but unfortunately, as far as we are concerned, India is concerned, a very vibrant democracy of 140 crore people, 50% being women. But we must realize that in 1952 general elections, only 22 women could adorn the seats in the Lok Sabha. So many years have passed, but today we have only 75 women as members of parliament in the Lok Sabha. So this is extremely unfortunate, from 22 to 75. And let me tell you, in the 17th Lok Sabha, there were just 78 members, and now we have come down at 75. So I think it's high time. Honorable Prime Minister has actually understood the importance of women being policy makers, being part of the Lok Sabha, and that is why he has brought this bill, not only for the Lok Sabha, but also for the state assemblies and the Delhi Assembly also. Yeah.
Okay. My second question to you about whether delimitation is essential for the Women's Reservation Bill to be passed.
Of course. See, we have to understand, we are talking of, as you mentioned in your opening remarks, that about 273 seats will be earmarked for women. Now, fine. If we do that, we have to understand as to which seat will be reserved for women. And for that matter, 2 things are required. One is census and the other is delimitation. So I think unless and until we have the census done, now let me tell you, in 1971, there was census. And then in 1976, there was delimitation based on the census of 1971. And then thereafter, we must remember, thereafter, the constituencies with whatever population was there has been there till now. So I think in 2008 there was some redrawing of the constituencies within the state, but it was not a massive delimitation exercise in 2008. I take you back to 2001. In 2001, there was the 84th Amendment of the Constitution, by which it was decided that the delimitation, whatever the constituency situation, would continue till 2026, when a massive delimitation exercise would take place. So I think the time has now come to have the exercise done. And in 2001, the Parliament had decided through the amendment. So now it's high time we did it. And unless we do that, we will not be able to know that what are the areas we should focus on for women, which are the seats we have to give to women. So if we want to do an exercise with a lot of maturity, we have to be meticulous. We have to do all the homeworks before we actually go for the reservation.
Okay. You know, questions are being raised by political parties in the opposition that why is BJP trying to rush this? Why is this happening right before the Bengal and the Tamil Nadu elections? Why has BJP decided to pick this particular moment to bring this bill in the parliament and make an effort to pass it?
To every action of Prime Minister Modi, there is an equal and opposite negative reaction from the opposition parties. Now, let me tell you very candidly, with a lot of emphasis, that I was very much present in the Lok Sabha during the debates in 2023 when we passed the Adhiniyam. Now, at that point of time, these people on the right side of the sitting in the front of the treasury benches, the opposition parties, they were very keen to get this bill, which they were passing, implemented immediately. They were the people who asked the Prime Minister as to when the bill would be passed. So now they are shifting the bill would be implemented. So now they are shifting the goalpost. This is extremely unfortunate. You just can't go and sit on the other side of the table because that suits you. Now let us not link it with Tamil Nadu and West Bengal elections. Now here is a Prime Minister who wants to do something good immediately for women. What's wrong in that? 3 years have passed. Can women wait so much? 3 years is not a long wait. So I think these people who are talking, crying hoarse, not wanting to have the implementation process finalized, not wanting to have the reservation policy implemented from 2029 general elections, I would call them anti-woman.
Okay.
Women across the country, all the states and union territories have been wanting the implementation of this particular act. And I thank Honorable Prime Minister as a citizen of the country, as a woman parliamentarian. He is very much firm about the implementation part. And it is good that all of us are gathering together. 3 days there'll be intense debate on different dimensions of the Act 1. And number 2, we would be finalizing the procedure. It's very important to know what kind of procedure we adopt. How do we do the census? Because, the delimitation process would also take time, about 3.5, 4 years. We don't have time. We don't want to wait. Women cannot wait. So I think this is very good that the Prime Minister has convened a special session of Parliament. There are such an important things which cannot wait. And this particular thing cannot wait.
Okay. Also, another question that has been raised by the opposition party leaders, including Sonia Gandhi of the Congress, that it is delimitation and not women's reservation which is an issue. BJP, as Sonia Gandhi and other leaders of the opposition are claiming, is targeting the opposition for not being women-centric, for not supporting women. But in fact, the opposition is questioning the delimitation exercise. Why isn't the BJP waiting for the 2021 census to actually have a more accurate estimate of the population of the country and then carry out the delimitation exercise? Why club Women's Reservation Bill and delimitation together?
you have to ask them whether during the course of debates in 2023, did not they ask about immediate implementation of the act? I think, as I mentioned earlier, I say with all conviction at my command that these were the people who wanted immediate implementation. Now, here we are coming up with certain options, right? Some suggestions would be placed before the House by the government, by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So let us all actually debate. All the debates, all the discussions will be around the proposals that come from the government. Let there be healthy debate for 3 days and some kind of conclusion will come out of it. But I think the government wants to take everybody on board. Prime Minister is very keen to hear everybody, and that is why this special session. But I think they should refrain from saying that Prime Minister wants to have everything done before Tamil Nadu and West Bengal elections. So everything cannot be politicized. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Aparajita Sarangi, for joining me on the telecast and speaking to us on NewsX. All right. I also have with me right now Ruby Singh Ahuja. She's